Good evening all. This is Jai Vidya, Assistant Professor in the Department of EEE, K.S. Rangaswamy College of Technology. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the basics of electrical engineering, that is about the supplies and types of circuits and all. Basically, we are describing the circuit as the combination of electrical components which forms a closed network, right? And based on the supply, we are classifying the circuits into two, that is DC circuit and the AC circuit. First, we are going to discuss about the DC circuit. It is followed by AC circuit. As I already said that the circuit is a combination of electrical components, right? So the basic electrical components which are available are resistance, inductance and the capacitance. So each has separate properties. First we are going to discuss about the resistance. This is the symbol of the resistance. It is denoted as capital R. The definition of resistance is the opposition of electrons offered by the substance to the flow of electric current is called as resistance. Simply we can say that it is a physical property of a particular substance which helps to resist the flow of electrons, that is which helps to resist the flow of current in that particular material is called as resistance. And this substance, the substance which gives this property is called as insulator, or it is also called as poor conductors. Mica, glass, rubber, dry woods are the example for the insulator. Since the resistance is actually a distributed one, but for the practical purposes we are considering this resistance as a lumped element. The unit of the resistance is the ohm. It defines as if 1 voltage across the two ends of the resistor to flow of 1 ampere of current in it, then it is called as 1 ohm. So R is equals to 1 ohm. A special property of the resistance is the resistivity, which is also called as specific resistance. It defines that it gives the meaning that the resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor and resistance is inversely proportional to cross-sectional area of the conductor. So the proportionality constant rho is used here. That proportionality constant is called as resistivity. Okay. Then the unit of the specific resistance is ohm meter, which is obtained from the formula, that is resistivity is equals to R into A by L. There are various problems to explain these terms. Here I am giving the 3 problems. The first problem we will discuss in the class. The remaining is for practice. Consider the first one, that is calculate the current. So we have to determine the value of current I and filament resistance of a 100 watt electric bulb. So first calculate the current drawn, that is I, and filament resistance, that is R, of for what we have to calculate the current and filament resistance, 100 watt bulb. அதுக்காக நம்ம calculate பண்ணோம். So the power is equals to 100 watt when it is connected to the 220 volts supply. So it terms that the voltage, the supply voltage is about 220 volt. The length of the filament is 110 centimeter. So L is equals to 110 centimeter. For diameter is 14 mm, that is D is equals to 14 mm. We have to calculate the specific resistance. So one thing you have to keep in mind that we have to considering the terms in same unit, that is the length and the diameter must be in same unit. So we are going to convert this terms into meter, that is 100 centimeter, 110 meter. We are going to convert this as 110 meter, and 14 millimeter we are going to consider it as 14 centimeter. That is we have to convert it into that is meter. Okay, the solution for this problem. Listen, power P is equals to 100 watt and the voltage V is equals to 220 volt. The length of the filament, as already said, that 110 centimeter is equals to 110 into 10 power minus 2 meter. The diameter is equals to 14 mm. So from the diameter we are calculating the radius, that is D divided by 2 gives that radius. So R is equals to 7 into 10 power minus 3 meter because it terms in millimeter. The formula, that is R is equals to, already we discussed that R is equals to rho L by A. In this term we have to determine the value of rho, that is specific resistance, which is equals to capital R A divided by L. The given values are P is equals to V into I, that is power formula, P is equals to V into I. We know the values of P, that is 100 watt, and volt, supply voltage, that is 220 volt. So from this term we can determine the value of current, that is 100 divided by 220 is equals to 0.45 amps. So we determine the value of current, that is the first term in the question, that is calculate the current drawn. The current value is equals to 0.45 amps. Then power is equals to VI. So we are considering V is equals to IR. As per Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. So the term becomes P is equals to I square R. So we know the value of P, that is 100 watt, which is equals to I, that is 4.45 already we determined. So 0.45 square into R. Finally we calculate the resistance value of 493.827 ohm. Okay, then the area is equals to pi r square. So A is equals to, the pi is a constant one, we can substitute the value. R already given, that is in terms of diameter in the question is given. So we can that is replace the value of R with 7 into 10 power minus 3. So we obtain the value of A, and we are substituting these terms in specific resistance formula, that is rho is equals to RA by L. So finally we obtain the value 690.71 into 10 power minus 4 ohm meter, because the unit for specific resistance is ohm meter. So that's all about the resistance, and the next basic element is the inductance. This is the symbol for inductance, and we are denoted this inductance as a capital L. A wire of certain length, when twisted into a coil, becomes a basic inductor. A single wire can be an inductor when it is twisted into number of coils. When current is passed through an inductor, an electromagnetic field is formed. So when the wire is not folded, that is not twisted as coil, it doesn't it is a simple conductor. When the current is passed through an inductor, an electromagnetic field is formed. A change in the magnitude of current changes the electromagnetic field. So it is directly proportional. Increase in the current increases the electromagnetic field, and decrease in the current reduces the electromagnetic field, which is produced in the inductor, that is twisted coil. Therefore, a change in current produces a change in the electromagnetic field, which induces a voltage across the coil according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So this principle is obtained from the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. It means that when we are giving supply to the twisted coil, that is a twisted coil is called as an inductor. When there is a change in the current, the electromagnetic field also changes. Okay, the unit of inductance is Henry. It defines, if 1 ampere of current is flowing through 1 turn of coil, then 1 Weber of flux is produced. Okay, the formula for that is voltage across the inductor, V is equals to L into di by dt. Current flowing through an inductor, I is equals to just we are taking integral, that is 1 divided by L integral of V of t into dt. Finally, the energy stored in the inductor is E is equals to 1 by 2 L I square. So this is the inductance. The third element is the capacitance. This is the symbol of capacitor. The definition is, it is a device that is capable of storing a charge. It consists of two conducting surfaces separated by an insulating medium. So listen, this symbol is for capacitance. You can understand from the symbol that it is made up of two conducting surfaces separated by any one of the insulating material. The conducting surfaces is called plates of capacitor, and insulating material is called as dielectric. The material which is present between the plates is called as dielectric. So the capacitor is used to store electrical energy in dielectrics. Capacitor stores the energy in the form of voltage or electric field. So the term capital C, that is capacitance, is equals to Q by V. The unit of capacitance is farad. It is defined as, if 1 coulomb of charge stores in capacitor when 1 volt is applied across it. So 1 farad is equals to 1 coulomb of charge divided by 1 voltage. So the equation for energy, voltage and current is given. Okay, then. So these are the basic elements which helps to form a circuit, that is basic elements which we are using in form a circuit. Okay, then there are various definitions and units of electrical quantities. So we have to recall all the things as we already studied in the higher secondaries, even though we have to recall here. So the first term is the electric current, that is, it is defined as the rate of flow of electric charge through a current. Its unit is coulomb. Okay, the unit of electric current is called as ampere. So the definition for 1 ampere is current flows when 1 coulomb of charge is transferred in 1 second through any section of wire. The next term is the electric voltage, which is also called as electric potential, which is also called as electromotive force. An amount of electrical work done in moving an electrical charge from one point to the another point against the electric field is called as electrical voltage. And it is of two types. One is direct voltage, the another one is the alternating voltage. Direct voltage maintains the same polarity at all times. In an alternating voltage, the polarity of voltage reverses its direction periodically, that is positive and then negative. Okay, the number of complete cycles per second is called as frequency. So the unit 1 volt is defined as 1 coulomb of charge is carried through 1 ohm of resistance in 1 second. Then electrical power, the rate at which the electrical work done in an electrical circuit is called as electrical power. So the term P is equals to V into I, the unit is watts. Its definition, if 1 volt of electric potential causes 1 ampere of current flows in an electrical circuit, then electric power consumed by an electric circuit is said to be 1 watt. Next term is the electrical energy. The product of electrical power and time is called as electrical energy. Its unit is watt per hour. It is said to be 1 joule if 1 watt of electrical power is consumed through electrical circuit in 1 second. Then, so these are all the basic parameters we have to know while drawing a circuit. Okay. Then active elements and passive elements in the electrical circuits. In the previous section we discussed about the basic elements which we used in case of circuits. But which are all comes under the active element and which are all the terms that is components comes under the passive element, we are going to discuss here. An element which delivers the energy is said to be an active element. Example, the current source, voltage source and the generator. The active element means it is a device which helps to supply the energy, right? Which delivers the energy, that is, it gives out the energy. It gives the energy to initiate some process is called as active element. Just opposite to the active element, the passive elements receives the energy to start its operation. So the active elements are elements which helps to supply the energy to start a function or start a process. So the passive elements are receiving the energy to start a process. Then, so the active elements are current source, voltage source and the generator. The passive elements are resistors, inductors and the capacitor. So the previous section, that is previous slide, we discussed about the basic elements, right? That are all passive elements. Okay. Then about Ohm's law. The Ohm's law given by George Simon Ohm. He discovered the relation between potential difference in the current and resistance in electric circuits. This relationship is called as Ohm's law. So the statement, what it means by statement. So the statement means we have to reproduce the content which is given by the scientist. Okay. So at constant temperature, the potential difference across the conductor is directly proportional to current flowing through that conductor. So V is directly proportional to I. Okay, where I is the potential, V is the potential difference across the conductor, I is the current flowing through the conductor, and R is the proportionality constant which is called that resistance. What are all the, it is not possible to apply Ohm's law in all the areas. That is, there are some limitations for applying Ohm's law. That is, V is equals to IR is not applicable for all the areas. That is, Ohm's law cannot be applicable for non-constant temperature materials. So from the statement we came to know that the first term is at constant temperature. So in variable temperature this Ohm's law is not applicable. So what are all that non-constant temperature material means? Arc lamp, electronic bulb and electrolyte. So in these terms and all we can't apply the Ohm's law. Ohm's law does not applicable for non-metallic conductors. Okay, these are all the limitations of Ohm's law. In some places we can't apply the Ohm's law. So what are all the places means? These two things. In case of non-constant temperature materials and in case of non-metallic conductors. Or then applications of Ohm's law means is applicable for solving simple series and parallel circuits to calculate its equivalent resistance, current and voltage of an electric circuit. That's all about the Ohm's law. Then we have to study about the Kirchhoff's law. The Gustav Kirchhoff, an eminent German physicist, gives the Kirchhoff's law. So there are two Kirchhoff's law when analyzing either DC circuits or AC circuits using Kirchhoff's circuit law. A number of definitions and terminologies are used. Okay, then you have to know important terms in case of Kirchhoff's law circuits, that is node, path, branch, loop and mesh. These terms are frequently we are using. This is the diagram which helps you to understand about the branch, node and loop. Listen, so the orange color describes about the branch and the node means it is represented is green color and the loop is represented in purple color. The terms circuit. A circuit is a closed loop conducting path in which an electrical current flows. Path means a single line of connecting elements or sources. Node, important term. A node is a junction, or it is also called as connection, or it is a terminal within a circuit where two or more circuit elements are connected or joined together, giving a connection point is called as node between two or more branches. Okay, so basically we are denoting, that is indicating this node by a dot. So node is a junction of two or more circuit elements or two or more branches, right? A branch is a single or group of components such as resistors as a source which are connected between two nodes. So the electrical components which are connecting between two nodes is called as branch. A loop is a simple closed path in a circuit in which no circuit element or node is encountered more than once. Mesh means in a single open loop that do not have a closed path. There are no components inside a mesh. So for your reference, the components are said to be connected in series if the same current flows through the component. And the components are said to be connected in parallel if the same voltage is applied across them. Okay, so there are two laws, that is Kirchhoff's current law and the Kirchhoff's voltage law. The statement of Kirchhoff's current law. Kirchhoff's current law is also called as KCL, states that total current or charge entering a junction or node is exactly equal to the charge leaving the node, as it has no other place to go except to leave. As no charge is lost within the node, so we can say that the sum of entering current is equals to sum of leaving. So the sum of entering the node is that is the summation of current entering the node is equals to summation of current outgoing the node. Okay, so this is the example for a Kirchhoff's current law. So consider this branch, the incoming current, that is what are all the incoming currents, that is I1 plus I2 is plus I3 is equals to I4 plus I5. Understood? Okay. Thank you so much.